Back on the road for the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Brewers Cardinals series is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. I think we just gave away where that first stop is, the Gateway Arch in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri, Busch Stadium, as the Brewers open up a 4-game series against Mike Matheny's St. Louis Cardinals. As we turn the calendar, and after an April to remember, let's see what May brings for Eric Thames after a record-setting month in April with 11 home runs and 28 runs scored. And Domingo Santana also having a big day yesterday. He was the difference, as a matter of fact, with 2 home runs, drove in all 4 runs in yesterday's 4-3 victory against the Atlanta Braves that allowed the Brew Crew to split the 10-game homestand. Good evening from Busch Stadium alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minard is our reporter. Iraq 1 month down and a good start for a building Brewers ball club. You look back at the last couple of years, a significant jump in wins in this first month of the season.
And again, a lot of things went really well. I mean, Eric Thames stole the show, as he should have, but I think the offense outstanding for the Brewers in the first month. You can see what happened last couple of years. I mean, a dreadful start, and this year already 13 wins. It took the Brewers 2 Aprils to get 13 wins, back-to-back Aprils, but offense outstanding. It's all about the home runs. 45 home runs, first in all of baseball. They've been scoring a lot of runs, and certainly nothing wrong with the offense. But I think if the Brewers hope to continue to contend, they're going to have to clean up a few areas. Number one, going to have to be, the defense. I mean, I think the defense is an interesting topic in that they make a lot of errors, but they make a lot of tremendous plays too. Very athletic. I think it's about concentration, and the team earned run average, I think that's a bit skewed as well. I think that the guys are pitching a lot better than those numbers.
Yeah, I would agree. It has given this team a chance. Well, when we continue, Anthony Rendon was pretty quiet for most of April until yesterday when he was really loud. We'll tell you all about it to get you ready for baseball from St. Louis.
Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The Brewers finish April with a .500 record, going 13-13, and as the calendar turns to May, we begin a 4-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals here at Busch Stadium. Tonight, the matchup, Zach Davies making his 6th start, a 2-2 record for him. He will face Michael Wacha for the Cardinals, 2-1 on the season, the earned run average, .255. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sophia Minard here at Busch Stadium, and Zach Davies began his 2017 season much like he did a year ago. He was winless over his first 3 starts, had a high earned run average, nearly 9 for him. But Davies was able to rebound and has won his last 2 starts against the Cardinals and most recently against the Reds. That start against the Reds most recently was his best outing of the season as he went 5 shutout innings, gave up just 6 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Davies said he was able to be on the attack and execute his game plan better, something he looks to continue again here tonight.
Being able to throw kind of every pitch and every count early on in the counts and trying to get ahead of guys, that was probably the biggest thing. Is getting into hitters counts is tough, trying to throw all your pitches. So if you get ahead, it's a lot easier to kind of work with everything and use different kind of sequences and different parts of the plate. So making sure I got ahead in the last game was definitely a focus of mine. A couple battles in the last game with some at-bats, so that kind of limited myself. But just in those kind of jam innings, making sure you pitch to contact and making sure you get quick outs. I think that's the biggest thing for me, and in the past, that's what I've focused on. So coming into the next start, that'll be one of my focal points.
Davies has never lost to the Cardinals in his 4 previous starts against them. Looks to continue that against them here tonight at Busch Stadium. We have first pitch with Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder coming up next here in St. Louis.
Smokes one, and it is gone. It's gone. They meet again, second series of the year between the Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Zach Davies trying to go 3-0 in his career against St. Louis. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. let the games begin. A chilly evening here in St. Louis, but dry tonight as Craig Counsell takes his team on the road. Second road swing of this young season. The first one was a good one. They won 6 out of 9 going through Toronto, Cincinnati, and against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Let's check out the Brewers lineup tonight, presented by Potawatomi. Jonathan VR is at the top, followed by Eric Thames and Domingo Santana. Travis Shaw back in the lineup here tonight. He will hit cleanup. Manny Pena behind the plate. Jesus Aguilar batting 6th. And the order is rounded out by Keon Broxton, Orlando Arcia, and Zach Davies. That's your Brewers batting order tonight, facing the Cardinals starter Michael Wacha.
Yeah, off to a really good start this year, and kind of a subpar season for him a year ago. 7-7, 24 starts for Wacha with an earned run average over 5 last year, but much better to start the year this year. He's making his 7th career start against Milwaukee. Currently 4-0. Let's check out the Cardinals' Menard's defense here tonight. The Cardinals have committed 22 errors, next to last in the National League. Grichuk, Fowler, Piscotty in the outfield. Jerko, Diaz, Wong, and Carpenter from third to first, and Yadier Molina behind home plate.
One of the best of his era, or any era for that matter, Yadier Molina. All those gold gloves, all those all-star appearances. His string of gold gloves actually ended a year ago. Like I said, the Cardinals, like the Brewers, trying to clean things up defensively as we get set to go. First of 4 here in St. Louis. VR is swinging a miss, and game 1 is underway here at Busch Stadium. Well, VR did not reach yesterday, but he had a 10-game run where he was reaching base. The average and on-base percentage starting to climb in the right direction. This is a tall order here tonight, though. I mentioned that Wacha, after, as Rock said, a tough year for him last year, is off to a very good start, and he has been a very tough, difficult pitcher to get good contact against through this early portion of the season.
Yeah, he's got the fastball. He's been throwing hard once again, like he did a couple of years ago, and he's got a terrific changeup to go with it.
2 balls, 1 strike to the opening hitter is Jonathan VR trying to get things rolling. Eric Thames, Domingo Santana hitting second and third. Both teams are 500 ball clubs. The Cardinals 12-12. The Brewers are 13-13. As Mike Matheny's team dropped 9 of its first 12 games and then flipped it, winning 9 of their next 12 to end up a 500 team through the first month of the season.
Starting to swing the bats a little bit better. They came into Miller Park last week and they were really scuffling. They started to swing the bats better and continue to do that.
You saw Adam Wainwright there a moment ago. He was among those swinging the bats in the series in Milwaukee. 2-run homer in that game off Willie Peralta. And he looked like the Adam Wainwright of old in that game. Got the curveball going. We will see him on Wednesday night here, the third of 4 between these two teams in this series. And VR takes a look at strike 3 called on a curve, and that's how the night begins.
Yeah, that's another pitch that he's going to throw from time to time. The curveball, doesn't throw too many of them. It is basically fastball changeup. He'll cut his fastball from time to time, but dropped the curveball in for a strike. Brian Gorman rings it up.
Here's your home plate umpire and the crew chief, Dan Iasonia, Mike DeMuro, and Trip Gibson rounding out the umpire crew here tonight in St. Louis. Here's Eric Thames. Just a magnificent first month as a Brewer. The record, franchise record, 11 home runs. The franchise record, 28 runs scored. Those are records for the month of April. And one of the great stories, if not the story, definitely on the short list of being the story in baseball in the first month of the season. All kinds of national recognition. Every media platform imaginable, it seems, has requested some time with Thames. Been incredibly accommodating with it. And he swings and will lift one into left field. That's Randall Grichuk. A lot of room. 2 up, 2 down here in the first.
In general, it's been a very good offensive April, or at least it was a good offensive April for the team. Eric Thames, as we talked about on the open tonight, that kind of led the way. But you know, the guys swinging the bats. I mean, the 13-13 record, not too bad, but the offense has been very good.
45 home runs for the Brewers in the month of April, including a couple from this guy yesterday, Domingo Santana. On Friday night, he snapped an 0 for 18 slide, had a pinch hit homer in the series opener against the Braves, and then yesterday he carried the load offensively with the 2 homers and drove in all 4 runs in that 4-3 Brewers victory over Atlanta. And it was Santana with that first homer that broke up a no-hitter. Mike Foltynewicz was off to a lights-out good start, and then Santana put it into all of that. Michael Wacha working against Santana, and the count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You see that fastball for Wacha, 94 to 98, and he has been throwing the baseball extremely well. I haven't been walking many batters.
He works with a quick tempo, and he pours in another fastball, and Santana looks at strike 3 called. A 3 up 3 down inning, and the Cardinals are coming up. The first inning as we get underway here in St. Louis. Mike Matheny in his 6th year as the manager of the Cardinals, the, of course, former Brewers catcher back in the 90s. Doing a very good job here with this St. Louis Cardinals ball club, and we'll take a look at, you'll see Matheny in there at some point, blocking his view right now. We'll check out the batting order here for St. Louis tonight, and it will be brought to you by Potawatomi, Dexter Fowler, Aledmus Diaz, Matt Carpenter at the top, Jerko, Piscotty, and Molina, Grichuk, Wong, and Wacha rounding out the batting order against Zach Davies. Dexter Fowler, Rock mentioned that this Cardinals team is starting to hit, and that includes Fowler. He has a 5-game hitting streak going, and in fact he has hit safely in his last 7 games in the home ballpark, and about a 500 clip in that 7-game stretch.
Yeah, I mean, he's a catalyst in this offense. He gets on base, he makes things happen, he steals bases. And he knew he wasn't going to stay cold for long. Good hitter.
Signed that big contract coming over from the World Series champion Cubs, the 5-year $82 million plus deal, all-star season with the Cubs a year ago.
Well, Zach coming off 2 pretty good starts. He's won his last 2, the Cardinals and Cincinnati. Has never lost to the Cardinals, making his 5th start here tonight. He's 2-0 with a .267 earned run average. Zach has allowed only 8 earned runs in 27 innings against St. Louis.
Yeah, he spun a couple of beauties against the Cardinals last year, one at Miller Park and then last September here in St. Louis, and he starts off on a good note here tonight with a punch out of Fowler.
Well, going up the ladder, getting fouled, a swing and miss on a high fastball. He was talking, on the pregame show today about location, sticking to the game plan and executing. And That's all about putting the baseball where he wants it. He was able to do that against Cincinnati his last time out.
Here's Aledmys Diaz, the shortstop for the Cardinals. Mentioned those two beauties that Davies worked a year ago in June against the Cardinals. 8 innings of 7-hit or 5-hit shutout baseball. That he was already turning things around, but that you could argue was a real breakthrough performance for him. And then September here in St. Louis, 7 innings of 5-hit 1-run ball and had terrific control. Those 2 games only walked 1, struck out 16.
Yeah, and the changeup was a big pitch for him, which it usually is when Davies has a good day out on the mound. It's usually the changeup, and he had a much better one against the Reds.
Diaz went 5 for 15 in that series in Milwaukee, but a swing and a miss as Davies begins his night with back-to-back strikeouts.
Now check out the Menards defense for Milwaukee. Well, Ryan Braun out of the lineup. That switches Eric Thames from first base to left field. That gives Jesus Aguilar an opportunity over at first base, making his 7th start at first this year. Manny Pena hanging the signs for Zach tonight.
As Sophia Minard reported in the pregame, we'll see how the night goes with Braun in terms of what kind of availability, if any, that he would provide as a pinch hitter. Right trapezius tightness was the issue that had him removed from the game. He was telling reporters yesterday he didn't think it was anything serious, but might need a day or 2 to get back to 100%, or at least close enough to be able to get back into the lineup.
Yeah, that puts Domingo Santana in number 3 spot. Travis Shaw, the cleanup hitter.
And Carpenter at the plate. Carpenter, the average is down. The on-base percentage, though, is a healthy .375. Always patient hitter. Still going through maybe a growing process, playing a lot of first base here as they've moved him all over. He's been obviously a lot at second, a lot at third, over to first base this year, and kind of learning as he goes, but still a very, very dangerous hitter as he works Davies for a walk, and there's the night's first base run.
Yeah, pretty careful with Carpenter. Carpenter's had real good success against Davies, but not near the success that Jed Jerko's had against Davies. I mean, these are eye-popping numbers for Jerko against Zach Davies.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the sample size, 10 at-bats, but it's ridiculous. 7 for 10 and a home run. He's actually walked a couple of times. And Jerko last year wore just about everybody out with the 30 home runs, but 7 for 10, that gets your attention in a hurry. And goes after the first pitch, make it 8 for 11. A base hit to right. And the Cardinals have runners at first and second with 2 out.
Well, you're careful with Carpenter, then you have Jerko right behind him in the lineup, and Jed Jerko, a very good fastball hitter. He's up there looking fastball. Davies gave him fastball, and he hit it hard into right field.
A big series against the Brewers at Miller Park. Base hit in his first stroke here tonight. So a little threat with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Stephen Piscotty steps in. Homered 4 times. He has driven in 11 so far this season. 26-year-old right fielder. Davies got back-to-back strikeouts from Fowler and Diaz, but then a walk to Carpenter, a base hit to Jerko. 1-0 the count to Piscotty.
And really trying to establish fastball in the early going here tonight. That 2-seamer misses down and in. Do a couple of change-ups to Carpenter, but everybody else has been getting a steady diet of fastballs.
2 balls, no strikes to Stephen Piscotty. Working away. Mentioned that first time around with the Cardinals, and they started to break out of it at Miller Park, but they up and down the lineup, they just were not hitting, and it's starting to turn around. They've won, as we mentioned, 9 of their last 12. They let one get away yesterday against Cincinnati. A 4-run lead was erased, and the Reds went on to win that game yesterday afternoon. We have found out no lead is safe. The Brewers on Friday had a 4-run lead of their own get away, and we have seen bigger leads than that get wiped out over the weekend. 3-1 pitch to Piscotty, and Davies has walked the bases loaded. This inning started innocently enough, and now Davies is in a bind here in inning number 1.
Early innings have given Davies problems from time to time this year. A lot of the damage has come before or from the 3rd inning back. You know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd inning. He has a tendency to settle down after that. But sometimes it's too late.
We will have to deal with Yadier Molina with the bases loaded. Veteran who signed a 3-year extension that goes into effect next year with this Cardinals team. Like a Cardinal for life, Yadier Molina.
And not too many could say that in this day and age.
Oh.
Start with one team and you end up with that team. Few and far between.
The one they thought might be, and obviously that changed a while ago, was Albert Pujols. He went on to the Angels, but Molina looks like it's going to be the Cardinals to the end, and he'll lift one into right center field, but Keon Broxton is there, and Davies gets out of trouble. A hit, a couple of walks, but no harm done for Davies as we are through the 1st inning in St. Louis.
The 2nd, and the Brewers made a roster move earlier today. They have called up reliever Rob Scahill from AAA Colorado Springs, and the lefty Tommy Milone was designated for assignment. Craig Counsell saying that really they felt that Tommy Milone, they wanted him to be in the starting rotation, and that there was just no spot for him right now at the major league level. They were hopeful that he could clear waivers and then join the AAA Colorado Springs rotation. And he said Scahill was one of a number of relievers pitching well in Colorado over 9 games. He had a 1.04 earned run average and 3 saves. So another fresh arm in the bullpen there. And Matt and Rock, as you guys alluded to, Ryan Braun not in the lineup today, but Craig Counsell would not rule him out if he would be available later tonight. Says his status is still day-to-day. Ryan Braun told us yesterday it's a right trapezius, but really he said he feels the soreness kind of up and down that right arm.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. As Travis Shaw leads off here in the 2nd inning, and Sophia's right. You know, she was mentioning the numbers that Rob Scahill was putting up in Colorado Springs, but that staff ERA is really low.
It's been impressive, hasn't it?
Off to a terrific start. Talk so much about the conditions and the hitter-friendly atmosphere there And they've had a number of either starters or relievers who have gotten off to very nice starts with the Sky Sox. Full count to Travis Shaw leading off the top of the second inning, and there's a ground ball backhanded by Aledmys Diaz, out number 1.
And to go a step further with that starting rotation, once Junior Guerra comes back, they're going to have to send somebody else either into the bullpen or send somebody packing. Who knows who that's going to be. And in the case of Ryan Braun, I think that the Brewers would be crazy to announce to the world that Braun's not available to pinch hit. Even if he was not available, you don't say that.
It's just something about not wanting to give a scouting report, right?
Late in the game, you don't want to tell Matheny that Braun's not available. It'd be crazy.
You want to make that opposing manager think about it one way or the other. So better assume that he's good to go. Manny Pena settling in. The storylines of the first month, you really can't overstate it. The work of the catchers, Pena and Jet Bandy. Pena getting Davies here tonight. Bandy caught Davies' first 3 starts, and now Pena the last 2, including tonight. The production behind the plate and what both have done at the plate, very impressive as you take a look at it.
Yeah, you can't get hurt either way, right?
No, you can't. We saw both of them yesterday, in fact, in part of a double switch in that ball game. Pena came in. Jet Bandy exiting along with Matt Garza, who was just terrific yesterday in that series finale against the Braves. That was some big man pitching going on.
That was
there.
he had a good curveball, changeup. He threw a few of those, but curveball and slider outstanding for Garza, and was able to locate his fastball pretty well.
1-2 pitch to Pena, and that's hit in the air to left field, and that's going to be a base hit as it drops in front of Randall Grichuk, and there's the first hit of the night for the Brewers.
Yeah, pitch up and in. I think Pena got jammed just a little bit, but able to dump one into left field. Well, don't have to be on the no-hitter watch like yesterday. Second inning base hit by Manny. What's new? Another base hit for him.
Yeah, the Brewers were hitless until the 5th inning yesterday. In fact, the only base runner was Ryan Braun. He reached on an error with 2 outs in the 4th, and then Santana jumped all over a pitch from Mike Foltynewicz and hammered it well over the wall in center at Miller Park. Actually clipped the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah, that led off the 5th inning on a 2-strike pitch.
For Santana, that was a preview of coming attractions. 3-run bomb an inning later. Here is Jesus Aguilar. And there is a bouncing ball. Diaz will scoop, glove flip for 1, and on to first, a double play. Little flip to Colton Wong, but it was Diaz with the nifty glove work to get it started. And it's a 6-4-3 double play. We're through an inning and a half of scoreless baseball.
The bottom of the 2nd, Hey, Interleague Baseball is back at Miller Park next Tuesday as Dustin Pedroia and the Boston Red Sox come to Miller Park for the first time in 14 years. Check out the complete schedule and reserve your tickets today at Brewers.com.
Forward to that. Been a while since the Red Sox have come to town. Lost in a couple of games above 500 over in the American League East. Zach Davies got out of a little bases loaded trouble. Got strikeouts from Dexter Fowler and Aledmus Diaz, and then a couple of walks and a base hit from Jed Jerko. He was able to get a fly ball from Yadier Molina to end the inning. And here's Randall Grichuk leading off the bottom of the second. Grichuk, Wong, and Michael Wacha due up here in inning number 2. And Grichuk with a liner into left field, a base hit. Eric Thames out there in left tonight, and that's hit number 2 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, fastball that pretty much down the middle of the plate, maybe a little bit in. That's not the location that Davies wants. Can't afford to get too much of the plate with that fastball.
Here's Colton Wong. A couple of standout plays defensively yesterday for the Cardinals, albeit in a losing effort.
And he's always hit well against Milwaukee. Colton Wong showed some power against the Brewers. Always seems to come up with that big hit. Did that at Miller Park.
Sure did, to the tune of 5 hits in that series, including 4 RBIs. Walked 3 times. The Cardinals the last couple of years have done some tinkering defensively, and included Wong getting some work out in center field last year. They don't need to do that now with Dexter Fowler over here.
Well, Wong has improved his defense a little bit. He used to be a little bit suspect over there, make some errors. But they like him in the lineup because of his speed.
Very good all-around athlete, 26-year-old from Hilo, Hawaii. A ball to strike. Grichuk the runner at first. And there's a ground ball to VR. Double play chance. Arcia 1 on to first to Aguilar, and that's a 4-6-3 double play.
Yeah, how about that for Orlando Arcia? He went down, did a somersault. Colton Wong, or I should say Grichuk, taking him out. Just check out what happens to Orlando Arcia here. Yep, he goes down, but still able to get the throw off. That's pretty good athleticism from Arcia out there at second. A bit of a late slide. He doesn't go down, does Grichuk. Kind of gets him with the shoulder, and Arcia went, did a flip.
Well, you're right, though, about the athleticism we talked about with Colton Wong. That Brewers shortstop isn't half bad either. This middle infield here for the Brewers can make some plays. You know, we've talked a lot about this defense collectively still trying to tighten things up. There's Wacha with a fly ball out to right field. That's well hit, but Santana will have it tracked. And the inning is over, and we are through 2 here in the series opener. Brewers and Cardinals, no score.
Star Wars night is back and better than ever on Saturday, May 13th. Watch the Brewers as wait a minute. Watch as the Brewers Rebel Forces battle the Mets Imperial Empire. Enjoy a Star Wars themed post-game laser show and even get a Jedi Keon bobblehead by ordering the special ticket package available at brewers.com/theme nights.
Yes, sir.
Watch the Brewers Rebel Forces. It kind of took me by surprise. As they battle the Mets Imperial Empire.
That's well done.
That's basically Brewers against the Mets.
The Brewers are going to play the Mets that night, and then you can get a bobblehead of Keon, and they'll have a laser show, and it'll be great.
Right.
They're ready to go. Keon Broxton leading off here in the third inning.
You a Star Wars guy?
You know, not as much as I should be.
Star
I'm
Trek,
going to be
right?
more and more. Yeah, it was a little more Star Trek, the original.
Right.
You know, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and all that. But yeah, the first Star Wars, everybody saw that, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Our former producer, who is now out with the Diamondbacks, Brad Weimer, he was our Star Wars aficionado.
Right.
He was all over it. I'm not sure if Dan Keener, our producer here, or Adam Bryant, our director, we put the pressure on them to fill in the blanks for us as we approach Star Wars night. I remember you and I were thrown off our tracks about a Star Wars night at another ballpark a few years ago. We were being abused by Weimer for our lack of knowledge of many things, including Star Wars.
That was Arizona, wasn't it? Or was it Cincinnati?
I want to say it was Cincinnati. Yeah, I think Jonathan Lucroy was among those guys. Want to have the pictures taken with everybody.
Yeah, right.
All that. So we need to brush up on that.
Mm-hmm. We will.
Broxton a swing and a miss, and he'll just give it up as it popped out of the mid of Molina, but it's out number one. Here in the third as Michael Wacha records his third strikeout.
Wacha's really got good movement on that fastball. Fastball changeup. Been very good. You can see why he's off to such a good start. He's only 2-1, but only 255 earned run average coming in.
Faces Orlando Arcia going after the first pitch, and a little chopper over to third. That's Jed Jerko, and a good scoop by Carpenter for the second out of the inning. I mentioned Matt's learning some things along the way, but he has this down already. Pretty good scoop on a low throw from the third baseman.
Yeah, he was on the infield grass and kind of aimed it over there at Carpenter, able to pick him up. A nice pick.
2 outs, bases empty for Zach Davies, who got through the bottom of the second, needing just 7 pitches. These are 2 pitchers, when they're on, they work quickly. As you see here from Wacha, he gets right back on the rubber, ready to go, and Davies goes the other way into right field, a base hit.
They busted it down that line. They're playing him shallow. That ball right to Piscotty, and I think Davies had a little panic in that step going toward first base. He's getting it going right here because he's figuring maybe Piscotty's going to make a throw to first.
Yeah, try to avoid the dreaded 9-3 putout.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Yes, we have. Davies is on. Hit number 2 here for the Brewers. And here's Jonathan VR. He took a look at strike 3 to begin the game.
Brewers pitcher's been swinging a little bit, right? That third hit. Garza's got one. Willie.
Yeah, that's right.
Davies.
Yeah, Garza's and Peralta's were run scoring singles, and VR with a fly ball hit back into deep right field, and that's out of here. And the Brewers jump out in front on a 2-run blast from VR.
Oh, that ball was smoked. That was way back. I tell you, that was one of the longest balls I've seen a Brewer hit in this ballpark. Out of right field anyway, over the Cardinals bullpen, out there in right center. Let's see what it was. I think it was a changeup that stayed up in the strike zone, and VR, as soon as he made contact, dropped the bat. He knew it was gone, so Zach Davies able to extend the inning, and the Brewers able to put up a couple of runs.
Yet another no doubt about it home run from the Brew Crew. They haven't really bothered with the wall scrapers. It's been out of here by a lot. Powerball home run count number 4 on the year for Jonathan VR.
And that was no cheapie right there.
So the Brewers grab the lead. Another early season theme for this club. There's the Brewers now in this game number 27. They have had a lead in 25 of those games. Maybe in the big picture with the 13-13 record, just the overall competitive nature of this group. A number of those losses were, you could say, coulda, shouldas, or certainly down to the wire type games. An exception was Saturday night when the Braves won big, but otherwise this group has gone toe to toe with everybody on pretty much a nightly basis.
Yes, they have. Now, isn't it amazing how a 500 record is seen differently in different organizations, right?
It really is. They're both the Brewers and Cardinals are 500, but Brewers a little more optimism with it. A comebacker that Waka will handle, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in the third. But Jonathan VR greets Michael Waka with a 450-foot blast into the bleachers and right. 2-0 Brew Crew. Bottom of the third we go. The Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota, let's go places. Bottom of the third, Brewers a 2-0 lead. Top of the order here for St. Louis against Zach Davies. Dexter Fowler struck out his first trip. Zach Davies spotted a 2-0 lead. Zach singled, and then Jonathan VR followed with a 2-run homer. He launched it well over the wall and right. 450 feet to travel off the bat of VR. Got a change up he liked and jumped all over it. 0-2 pitch to Fowler.
Yeah, those changeup that stay up in the zone out over the plate are very hittable. A mistake by Walker that he paid for. Actually made 2 mistakes. Base hit to Davies to extend the inning.
Yeah, Walker retired Keon Broxton and Orlando Arcia, and then the Brewers went to work. 2-2 pitch to Fowler, and it swung on and hit in the air, shallow right. Going out there, he was playing out there with the shift anyway, is Jonathan VR, but that's out number 1. last year. The first 3 starts were very shaky for Davies. He settled in and had a terrific year. We're seeing signs of a similar theme this season. And actually, the outing that he had against the Cardinals, while he had a winning decision there, it was certainly not his best work, but he's coming off a performance against Cincinnati, which was very good. 5 innings, 6-hit shutout ball. But as Sophia talked about in Brewers Live here tonight, just trying to see if they could extend that 5-inning work to maybe get into the 6th and deeper maybe, but at least an inning or so deeper from Davies here tonight.
A 7-pitch inning in the second is going to help that.
It helps out a lot. 0-2 pitch to Aledmys Diaz, misses away. That was a big deal with Garza yesterday too. At the first inning he had to grind through it a little bit, but he got into a groove, and the pitch count much lower than the first outing he had against Cincinnati a week ago tonight.
Yeah, Garza 6 2/3 yesterday.
Very good effort from Matt.
A low pitch count in the 80s.
2-2 pitch to Aledmys Diaz. Ball downstairs and a full count to the Cardinals shortstop. All-star last year was Diaz. Rookie year, hit .300 with 17 homers. And a liner in the left, a base hit. Takes a 3-2 pitch and turns it. And with 1 out, Zach Davies has a runner aboard. He'll work against Matt Carpenter. Let's get more on tonight's Brewers starter as we check in with Sophia Minnaert.
Well, Matt and Rock, as you were just talking about, efficiency is the goal for Davies here tonight. He did go 5 shutout innings in that win against the Reds, but it took him 95 pitches to get through it. And he told me that he really felt he had a couple of battles, a couple of long at-bats in that outing, so he said it really limited him. And he felt that the focal point for tonight is in those jam innings with base runners on to really limit the pitch count there, get through those, and get quick outs. So something Davies is focusing on here tonight. Again, he led the team last year with 15 quality starts.
There's a fly ball off the bat of Carpenter. Long run. Broxton reaches out and makes a tremendous catch in left center field.
That is tremendous. Well, a good jump, good angle, and a perfectly timed leap. And able to keep the ball in his glove once he hits the ground. I mean, Matt Carpenter hits that when it's slicing away from Broxton, and he makes a tremendous catch out there into the gap. That might have scored a run. Doesn't get much better than that. I mean, make plays like that. You're really not swinging the bat as you would like. That's going to keep you in the lineup.
Yeah, that's big time right there from Keon Broxton. And as to Sophia's point, that helps the efficiency on the mound for Davies too. You get help from those behind you, and that is a highlight reel catch from Broxton. Here's Jed Jerko. First pitch swinging, a ground ball over to Travis Shaw. Is going to test that hand that was hit on Saturday. No trouble as the inning is over. A harmless hit and a spectacular catch by young Keon Broxton. The Brewers lead after 3.
The Brewers have a 2-0 lead as we head to the fourth. And our minor league report, it was Brewers' first-round draft pick in 2015, Trent Clark, now playing right field for the Carolina Mudcats. A big day for him at the plate as he went 5 for 6 with 2 runs, a double, and 3 RBIs. And with that kind of day, your batting average will get a nice bump. So that average went up for him nearly 60 points. You see there, it's a 240 average for him, 2 homers on the season, and the on-base percentage growing. So a good day for Trent Clark.
Yeah, you're right. Terrific day. Big old jump in that batting average. And we can talk a lot about the Colorado Springs Sky Sox, but you go down to the Mudcats, and that is a big-time day.
Yeah. A lot of good things happening down in the minor leagues. We had Tom Flanagan on Saturday back in Miller Park, the scouting director, or I should say the farm director in charge of the minor leagues, and he's excited about what they have, the prospects that they have down in the minor leagues.
Domingo Santana leading off here in the fourth. Santana, Shaw, and Pena against Michael Wacha. You brought it up a little while ago about the difference in just the reaction in a Brewers team that's 13-13 and a Cardinals team that's 12-12. And you know, obviously the bar here very, very high in St. Louis. Santana sends one out of play. And the Cardinals had a rare miss in getting into the postseason last year. They were also 50-50 in April a year ago, but you know, they're still trying to. It's like, what's wrong? What's going on with the Cardinals?
Right. Yeah, they're ready to take a leap off the arch.
They are. And there's one down the line. A fair ball from Santana. Bangs off the side wall, and Santana. Oh, he's starting to warm up at the plates. And it's a double to begin the fourth for Milwaukee.
Yeah, right down that third baseline, and that fastball that Molina wanted inside, not far enough, and right over the bag down the line, and you know, Santana with leadoff double. There's a good start. Yeah, get some insurance runs here.
Trying to do to Michael Wacha what teams don't do very often, and that's knock him around a little bit. He has been off to a very good start, and he is particularly good here in the home ballpark. Here is Travis Shaw. Mentioned in the bottom of the third, testing that hand of his. Not in the lineup yesterday. Took a pitch to the hand Saturday night, and told anyone who asked that he'd get back in there by Monday night, and true to his word. There's a ground ball to the right side. Colton Wong, that's out number 1, but that's a productive out as Santana moves to third.
Yeah, you're going to make an out, advance a base runner, and that's exactly what he did. Good job. He was trying to get a base hit for sure, but you don't want to hit a ground ball to the left side. That's not going to help.
Here's Manny Pena. On base percentage of .434 for tonight's Brewers catcher. Infield in for the Cardinals, and Pena shoots one through and into right field. A run scoring single for Pena, and it's now a 3-0 lead for the Crew.
This guy's something else, isn't he? I mean, he's really making a name for himself. You know, we go around different towns, and you know, teams come into Miller Park. They ask about Pena. They say, "What about this guy?" I mean, he's got a great arm. He's throwing a baseball well. And look at the way he's hitting. A base hit the left, now a base hit the right with the drawn-in infield, and the Brewers back on the board. He has been impressive. It's been a great start to his season.
Yeah, with all the talk of Eric Thames, and rightly so, and we mentioned with Braun, the good month of April he had. These catchers getting a lot done. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Walker misses with a curveball. Brewers with a couple of runs in the third, courtesy of a Jonathan Villar homer, and now Manny Pena a run-scoring single in the fourth.
You know, that run right there is something that Craig Counts. You got to believe he's got a big smile on his face, because Brewers need to do more of that. I mean, good situational hitting. ABC baseball, double, get them over, get them in, and that's exactly what they did. Good job by Shaw after the double and a drawn-in infield. Yeah, Manny Pena able to get a base hit.
0-1 the count to Aguilar. And a little Little bouncer over to third. That's a fair ball. Charging is Jerko, and the play is at first for out number 2.
And the home runs are great. They get the oohs and ahs, and the 450 footers. But throughout the course of the season, you really can't count on the home runs. For most of your run production, the Brewers are going to have to do a better job of situational hitting, and that's certainly something that Craig Counsell is looking for down the road here.
He's able to get that in the 4th. 2 men out. Pena, the runner, at second for Keon Broxton, who struck out his first at bat tonight against Waka. Broxton hitting a bit better than .300 over his last 9 games. Made a terrific catch in the 3rd inning tonight.
That probably saved the run last inning. It's like an RBI. A defensive play like that.
Without Diaz was on at first, and Broxton robbed Matt Carpenter, laying out and making a terrific catch. 1-1 pitch from Michael Wacha. It's been the thing about this team, and they're both showing signs that they're coming around at the plate with Broxton and Arcia, but it's never seemed to affect their work defensively when they were struggling at the plate. Now they're both showing signs that they're coming around with the bat. The 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss there as he strikes out for the 2nd time in this game. Another scoring inning for the Brewers, and we move to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Milwaukee. A MVP membership is the only way to secure your seats at the new home of the Milwaukee Bucks, opening in the fall of 2018. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events for details on how to secure your seats today. A lot of promise for that Bucks franchise. A very tough outs in the NBA playoffs. A lot to look forward to down the road with that franchise. And Zach Davies off to a good start. Got some help from Keon Broxton in the 3rd with a diving catch. And he has kept the Cardinals off the board through the first 3 innings.
Yep, got a double play in the 2nd, a great catch in the 3rd.
Will face Stephen Piscotty to lead off, and going after the first pitch, and lines one past Travis Shaw, a base hit. The Cardinals have had base runners in each of the first 4 innings.
Man, breaking ball right there. That's the pitch that seems to be giving him some problems tonight. Hadn't thrown too many of the curveballs. That was one that stayed right down the middle of the plate. A key pitch for Zach Davies. really get a sense that the Cardinals are sitting off speed early in the count. They haven't been going after the fastball too much. Jed Jerko did.
4 hits for the Cardinals. A couple of walks as well. That came in the first inning, but Davies got out of a bases loaded situation by getting a fly ball off the bat of Molina, which ended the first. Seven-time All-Star, 8 straight Gold Gloves. The streak ended last year. Still had a good year at the plate, 300 plus.
Here's a guy that didn't really become a good hitter until later on in his career. Always outstanding defensively. I mean, he had that right from the get-go, but early in his career, he was an out. Sometimes it takes a while.
Clearly changed. Cardinals going after the first pitch here. Not this time, and a snap throw. Cardinals found out the hard way you need to be ready for Pena. That series at Miller Park. Ball, no strikes to Yadier Molina. Steven Piscotty, the runner at first. And a strike to Molina. Cardinals are not a running team to the degree as the Brewers, but they ran more than usual by their standards in the first month of this season. Last year they stole just 35 bases as a team, but Matheny's group with 13 stolen bases in the first month this year.
Yeah, you got some guys that can run. You know, Dexter Fowler, Wong can run. You can't steal if you don't have guys that can run.
It is a factor.
It makes it difficult.
Yeah, last year they were a home run hitting team. The dynamic of the Cardinals lineup really changed. You know, 225 home runs a year ago, and previous years that wasn't the case. You go back 4 years ago, and this team was ridiculously good with runners in scoring position. They had that stat in 2013. It was a record, as a matter of fact. They were 330.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, crazy good. Molina with a foul chop.
Well, so far this year, next to last in hitting home runs. They've only hit 24. It's one of the reasons why, you know, run production down a little bit. They don't run a whole lot. They're not hitting homers.
And to give that perspective, those 24 homers, remember the Brewers now with VR's long ball tonight, they have 46. Representing the other extreme. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Molina. Scotty able to get back. He's tried to steal 5 times and caught 4.
Well, difficult to run on Zach Davies. He holds runners extremely well. Has a good sense for that.
Combination helps Pena. He's thrown out 38% of those who've tried to run against him.
And that doesn't even count the guys he's picked off.
Right. Four hits for the Cardinals. They have stranded 4 through the first 3 innings. Leadoff single here in the bottom of the 4th from Steven Piscotty. 2-2 pitch to Molina. Fly ball out to right field, and Santana will have it tracked for out number 1.
Hey, there's another 5-county Friday coming up on Friday, May 12th, which means that if you're a resident of the 5-county area, your tickets are half price for the Brewers' upcoming matchup with the New York Mets. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com/5county. That's the day before Star Wars Day.
Got a lot going on at homestand now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. You have time to brush up on your Star Wars knowledge.
Very limited.
Here's Randall Grichuk. Curve missing away for Davies. We mentioned the Mets, man. They have gone through some issues. Noah Syndergaard now, right? The latest. Will be out for a while.
Matt Harvey's not throwing well. Yeah.
Figure is still a very dangerous team, but having some problems in the early weeks of this season. Ball a strike to Grichuk. First round pick of this, actually of the Angels back in '09. Very well documented now. Picked ahead of Mike Trout. Came over as part of that trade involving David Freese a couple of years ago.
That's a good breaking ball right there. That's where he needs to leave that pitch. Down in the zone, out of the strike zone, and perfect location for that one.
1-2 the count as you see the alignments for Randall Grichuk. They are shaded toward the bag at second. Scotty the runner at first. And a swing and a miss. A snap throw down to first. Not in time, but a strikeout for Davies. And that's the second out of the inning. Pena gets it there in a hurry.
Yeah, he better be alive if you're Jesus Aguilar. I mean, he will throw at any time. He's not going to give you a sign. You better be there. Aguilar doesn't get off the bag all that far, and Scotty able to dive back in safely. You can see that secondary lead that Piscotty's getting. I mean, he's getting shorter and shorter every time he makes a throw to first base.
You're right. That's a great point about Aguilar. Getting some time here in the lineup tonight. And he heads up with Pena. He's going to snap it down there if the opportunity is there to pick off a runner. 2 outs for Colton Wong. Get into a 4-6-3 double play did Wong in the second inning. And a strike will even the count. Davies has had a fair amount of success in his young career against St. Louis. Trying to continue that tonight. 2-0 in his career. This is his 5th start against the Cardinals.
Those last 2 pitches right on the outside corner. Perfectly placed.
That has Davies ahead in the count. Here comes the 1-2, and that hit him on a 1-2 pitch.
And Pena wanted to elevate the fastball, and Davies let it get away from him. Bad news, he hit him. Good news, the pitcher's coming up. Yeah, Wong gets it right on the back of the leg.
Pena settling down as pitcher here tonight. Cardinals with 2 men on, and Michael Wacha the hitter. He does have 1 hit this season. It was a run scoring single. Cardinals have had a little bit of traffic here tonight. They had them loaded in the first, as a matter of fact, with 2 outs. Runners at first and second here in the 4th. That one got Pena a foul tip, and he feels this one.
He got one of those a couple of nights ago at Miller Park. Sometimes just not fair. Yep, hit the ground and got him. If it's never happened to you, you're lucky. If it has, you know what he's going through.
Right. Athletic trainer Dan Wright out there.
Just want to go down and get in the fetal position. Everybody leave me alone. Give me a couple of minutes.
And that is spoken by a guy who's been there and has dealt with it.
Yeah. Numerous times.
Oh. Always say as a catcher, right? The best day of the year is the first day of camp. It's when you feel right.
Yeah, you're never going to feel better than the first day of spring training.
That's what they say in football. Greatest day of camp.
Yeah,
first day.
See, he's back. I mean,
yeah.
It goes away.
Yeah,
it goes away. You feel like, you know, the end is near, but you know, give him about 30 seconds, he's right back at it.
It's all good. Oh, and 1 the count to the Cardinals pitcher. There's strike 2 called. Davies with 3 strikeouts here so far, including the first 2 hitters he faced tonight, Dexter Fowler and Aledmys Diaz. He's punched out Randall Grichuk here in the 4th. 2-strike pitch. Curve is inside. As we mentioned in those early outings, Zach had troubles early in the game. He has been able to keep the Cardinals off the board. Trying to keep it that way here in the 4th. Giving up a single to Stephen Piscotty, and then he hit Colton Wong on a 1-2 pitch.
He threw 2 perfect pitches on the outside corner. Then he tried to go up and in and just lost it. And got a piece of him.
Still trying to put away his counterpart tonight, Michael Wacha. And that missed. Wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. Well, is it on the line? Oh, pretty close, huh?
Wacha's still in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And a ground ball to the right side. VR is there, and the inning is over. So the Cardinals strand 2 more. Zach Davies keeps St. Louis off the board. 3-0 after 4. Lead. Orlando Arcia will be leading things off here. And you can see what he's been doing lately. We've talked about Keon Broxton showing signs he's coming around. Well, likewise, Orlando Arcia and Rock, his ability to go the other way. I know he also pulled one into the gap that Craig Counsell liked, but he's trying to use all the field right now, and he's getting it done.
Oh, he's still trying to figure it out. I mean, I know we talk about it all the time with Orlando, the fact that he's 22, but I mean, it makes a difference. A young kid like that, most guys at 22 are trying to figure out how to hit in Double-A, but you know, he's up here in the major leagues, best pitching in the world, and he's starting to come around. I mean, Counsell likes the way he's really making an effort to go to the opposite field, but again, I think he wants him to be a little bit more pull conscious when he has the count in his favor and he gets something middle in, and he's starting to do that as well.
Had a hit yesterday's game against Atlanta in 3 trips. He's getting on base a time or two every game out now, these last dozen. 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Arcia, Davies, and Villar. Brewers have gotten to Michael Wacha a bit. 2-run homer from Villar in the 3rd and scratched out a run in the 4th. Had a double from Santana, a productive out from Travis Shaw, and a ground ball to the right side. And then a run scoring single from Manny Pena.
What were you doing when you were 22?
Was in college. Unlike you, my athletic career ended in high school, so that was a intramural.
Yeah, superstar.
Yeah, exactly. Aren't we all intramural all-stars?
I was an A-ball. I was in Stockton. 22 years old. Yep. Couldn't imagine back in those days being 22 and in the major leagues. It's a little bit different these days.
Walking in these ballparks, you'd be in awe, right? But
yeah.
One thing about Arcia, he doesn't seem to be in awe by much. A lot of kind of a quiet confidence to him. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Well, he knows he has the ability. He knows over time he's going to figure it out. He has at every level, and he has that leadership quality for a guy that is so young. I mean, the guy will make an error. You say VR makes an error, he'll pump him up. He'll be clapping his glove and getting him going. Always has a smile on his face.
Good enthusiastic group of young players in this Brewers roster. Full count, and Arcia trying to go the other way here, but that'll carry into the seats. That terrific move when need be, that 360 spin out at shortstop. Total control though. Gets the throw over to first on the money. Again, the payoff pitch, and it's strike 3 called. Off the corner, says home plate umpire Brian Gorman. That's out number 1.
Well, he's able to thread the needle on the inside corner, and yeah, pretty close. Let's check it out. I guess too close to take with 2 strikes, and Brian Gorman rings it up.
Wacha facing Zach Davies, who singled and scored in the 3rd inning. And a curve is bounced over to Jed Jerko. And there are 2 men out here in the 5th. Comes Jonathan Villar at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Villar struck out of the 1st inning, but a 2-run homer. Here's how it looked. Yet another no doubt home run against Michael Wacha. 450 feet it traveled.
Yeah, bad location on a changeup, and when you hit a changeup that far, it's all you. 86 miles an hour, and he hit it 450 feet.
Knowing that, Wacha tries to feed him a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, but missed low and in. A ball, a strike to Villar. Rare sitting back and letting it go now a little bit is Waka.
Yeah, I think he's going to throw him another changeup.
Unlikely.
If he throws, it's going to be in the dirt.
Waka ready with a 1-2. Mentioned Waka's home success. He came into this game tonight 2-0 and an ERA of 1.03, but the Brewers have put 3 runs on the board against him so far. And VR has worked this to a full count. Here comes the payoff. And VR draws a walk. Good appearance there for VR as he reaches for the second time tonight.
Yep, all fastballs. That one down in the zone. Let's see if VR tries to steal a base. Waka pretty quick to home plate, and you've got the equalizer behind home plate.
Yadier Molina. VR has 5 steals in 6 attempts. Molina, like Pena, has thrown out base runners 6 times trying to steal. That's not counting the pickoffs. Molina had a great pickoff over the weekend against Cincinnati. The base hit. Eugenio Suarez of the Reds went to third and then just kind of wandered off the bag, and Molina kept looking, and then picked off Suarez.
You can't be wandering off the bases with your head down with Molina behind home plate. Always have to be ready to get back. You never know when he's going to throw one.
Eric Thames. Fly ball and a comebacker from Thames so far tonight. And there's a line drive into right center field. That's going to get to the gap and to the wall. VR motoring around third. He's coming home, and Eric Thames has himself a run-scoring double.
Yeah, 2 outs, nobody on, walk double, and the Brewers on the board again. Boy, how quick is that bat for Eric Thames? My goodness. Check this out. I mean, not a whole lot of movement anywhere. That wasn't even a bad pitch. It was down away from Thames, and just a lightning quick bat through the zone, and finds a gap out there, and you knew once that ball got by Fowler, VR was going to score easily.
It's part of what makes Thames so good. He's gone homerless his last 4 games, which I guess is news when you have 11 in the month, but that doesn't mean he isn't hitting. And he continues to hit for average, and there's Santana with a drive to right field, and making the running catch is Stephen Piscotty. Well hit ball, but Piscotty runs it down. But another scoring inning here for the Brewers as Eric Thames with a 2-out RBI double that brings around Jonathan VR. It's 4-0 Brew Crew. To the bottom of the 5th we go.
after a walk. Hey, get live broadcast, scoring updates. I know that wasn't real smooth, but, you know, I had to break it off. Breaking news and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com At Bat. The official app of the Brewers. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
We're informal here. It's okay. You know, you got the message across.
Segway's not my strong suit.
Dexter Fowler, first pitch swing and a liner to right. Santana on the run makes the catch. Going after that first pitch here against Davies. Santana runs down that liner. First out of the inning.
I'm getting a lot of mileage with a fastball is Zach Davies today, almost by design, I believe. And I think the Cardinals, you know, third time through, let's see if they adjust their approach. A lot of breaking balls the last time Davies faced St. Louis. Good curveball. The changeup was pretty good. And we've seen a lot of fastballs today.
Here's Aledmys Diaz, who has struck out and singled to left tonight. Cardinals with 4 hits in the game, but they have stranded 6 runners. Fastball evens the count. And with tempo, the break even pitch curve, a liner in the left, long run Eric Thames, and he can only watch. It's out of here. Aledmys Diaz with a liner over the wall to get the Cardinals on the board.
Well, let's check it out. What is it? Yeah, breaking ball, curveball, and again up in the zone a little bit, right at the about mid-thigh, and Aledmys Diaz doesn't waste it. Again, the breaking ball, right? I mean, he's had some success with the fastball, and I think that's now 3 hits on curveballs for the Cardinals in this game. This last one a home run.
So the Cardinals break through against Davies here in the 5th inning.
Craig Counsell just went out there to make sure the ground rule, what a home run is.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to go over that bank of signs out there.
Right, went over the wall, but not over the signs. So that gets St. Louis on the board. Here is Matt Carpenter. Carpenter walked to the first inning, was robbed of extra bases his last trip on a terrific catch in left center by Keon Broxton. Took a run off the board. Aledmys Diaz was on, and he would have come all the way around.
He had a long way to go too. He shaded a little bit toward right field with Carpenter at the plate, and he continues to be in that spot, so he had a really long way to go to make that catch.
Made a few highlight catches already this season. Adds one to it tonight. The 3-1 pitch to Carpenter, and this is hit in the air to center field. Drifting back is Broxton at the wall, reaches up, can't get it. Back-to-back home runs. First Diaz, then Carpenter, and it's a 4-2 ball game.
Yep, getting behind in the count. Check out fastball, 2-seamer. Tried to get away from Carpenter and didn't do it. Got too much of the plate, and Keon Broxton ran out of room. Did that go off the top of the fence, or did it just bounce beyond the fence and bounce right up into the air?
Looked like it just cleared it and then bounced just beyond the wall. Either way, Broxton was measuring it as best he could. But back-to-back home runs have the Cardinals right back into the game.
Yeah, wind blowing out a little bit straight out to center field. Helped that one. That was way up in the air. And Matt Carpenter just enough to get it out of here to center field.
Cool night, but there's some carry. The fly balls as Carlos Torres now getting loose in the Milwaukee bullpen. Now Jed Jerko, certainly someone with home run power.
It did go off the top of the fence.
Yeah, sure did. You're right. The fourth homer of the year for Carpenter. He has a team high 15 RBIs. Jerko with a curve, and he sends it out of play. He homered 30 times a year ago, did Jed Jerko. Over in the trade that sent John Jay out to the Padres, and Jerko with a base hit to right as he continues to have great success against Zach Davies. 2 for 3 tonight and 9 for 13 in his career against the Brewers starting pitcher.
That's just amazing success against anybody. I mean, it's hard to do that in BP. He takes a fastball that was trying to get inside, that two-seam fastball, the same pitch that Carpenter hit out, and kind of muscles it out there to right field.
After Dexter Fowler lined to Domingo Santana, Cardinals are getting to Zach Davies here. Here's Stephen Piscotty. Home runs from Diaz and Carpenter. A single off the bat of Jerko. Davies trying to retire Piscotty for the first time tonight. Walked him in the first. Piscotty a single to left in the fourth. Two balls, no strikes to the Cardinals right fielder. Homered 22 times a year ago did Piscotty. He's gone deep twice this year. A strike from Davies.
Good pitch right on the bottom part of the strike zone.
Two 1 pitch coming. Starting labor now is Zach. Up through the first. He walked a couple in the first inning. Gave up a base hit to Jerko, but got out of a bases loaded jam. There's a hot shot back up the middle. VR to Arcia. 1 on to first. Double play. Yes, sir. Whoa, that was hit hard up the middle. The middle infield combo of VR and Arcia having some fun here at Busch Stadium. Check it out. 4-6-3. Brewers lead by 2.
Man, that's something.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Yeah, that's some good advice, as they have really been hit with the injuries. The Mets.
That's a big part of it, right? I mean, winning, teams normally are the healthiest teams. Guys who've been able to get through the postseason, and there've been a lot of big-time stars getting hurt. Madison Bumgarner out to the All-Star break.
Yeah, the dreaded dirt bike accident on an off day. He's him out for the rest of the first half of this season at least, as Travis Shaw leads things off here for the Crew in the 6th against Michael Wacha. 2-run lead here for the Brew Crew. The Cardinals getting back-to-back homers in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And what a double play that the Brewers able to turn. Now watch, first of all, Zach Davies getting out of the way of this. If that hits him, I mean, that's going to be a base hit. And check it out. Watch the toe tap right there to get the bag. I mean, Major League Baseball is requiring that. You have the ball, you got to tag the bag. There's no in the area anymore. And that was a great play on a lot of different fronts.
Yeah, it was. That was not an easy feed there too by VR after making that stop. But yeah, you're right. They don't give you the in the neighborhood deal anymore. But it's great footwork. It's a fun combo when they're on. The VR Arcia combination is pretty good. Here's Shaw with a liner. It goes over the glove of Aledmys Diaz, and a base hit for Travis Shaw.
My favorite part of that whole play to end that inning was when we were in break, and Arcia is running like he couldn't wait to get into the dugout to congratulate Veer on a nice play.
Yeah, that's fun.
I mean, he was full speed going into that dugout as Travis Shaw. We didn't spend a lot of time on that base hit, but good job by Shaw getting the base hit, pitch up and in.
First hit of the night for Shaw.
But you like the enthusiasm. I mean, turning a double play, these guys are fired up.
There's a lot of approaches that can work, but man, there's nothing wrong with watching guys having fun playing this game.
Right.
There's Manny Pena. Brewers now with 7 hits against Wacha. Manny has 2 of them, including an RBI single in the 4th inning. Brought home Domingo Santana. The Brewers making good contact against a guy that few have made good contact against this season so far in Michael Wacha. And that gets by Molina. Shaw on the move, and he will get the second.
Boy, Haley's comment right there. That's not something you see a whole lot of. And Molina backhanding it, and Travis Shaw able to get into second base. You don't see that very often with Molina behind home plate.
It's one he normally blocks, you're right, but a wild pitch charged to Wacha. And the Brewers have a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. A 1-1 count to Pena. And he's going to lay one down first base side. No play at third. Wacha won't take the risk, and the play is over at first for out number 1.
I like that. Yeah, we don't feel as though you can hit the ball in that direction, which he does extremely well, but you want to make sure with nobody out. Yeah, he gets Shaw at third base with less than 2 outs. Good team baseball right there for Manny Pena.
It is out number 1, and little insurance 90 feet away here for the Crew. Oh, what a sweet time here for Jesus Aguilar to get things back in order. It's been a while since his last hit. He is 0 for his last 19. Cardinals bring the infield in. As we mentioned with Aguilar, to be fair, when you don't play a lot, it's tough.
Yeah, it was hard for him to get playing time with Thames swinging the bat well, Ryan Braun playing just about every day, and he found himself on the bench.
In the lineup tonight, though, at first, 0-1 the count. And there's a hot shot. Jerko knocks it down. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's in time, and they'll get a double play out of it. They get Aguilar at first. 5-2 to 3, and just like that, the threat ends. Wow. Going on contact was Pena. They get him, and they get Aguilar, and the top of the 6th is over. extend the lead in the top half of this inning, but they do lead it by 2. And with that, we bring you our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. It's pretty good defense on both sides. A nifty 4-6-3 double play here from the Brew Crew. And watch Keon Broxton robbing Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, I mean, this is a highlight reel right here. Toe tap on the second base and good defense on both ends. This is kind of an interesting move right here for Travis Shaw. That's a line drive. You don't go in a line drive. Would have been a double play had it been caught. But, you know, good defense for two teams tonight that have not really played all that well defensively throughout the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you're right. Errorless baseball. Both teams turning in some tough plays as the night is over for Zach Davies now. He steps out after 5 innings, and now Carlos Torres comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah, pitched on Friday against the Braves, gave up a run in an inning of work, but he did strike out the side in that inning. He's starting to get better feel for the cutter. It was a kind of a pitch that he wasn't able to command very well earlier in the season.
Molina with a fly ball out to Broxton, and quickly 1 out in the 6th. Tonight for Davies, 5 innings, 7 hits, back-to-back home runs. In the 5th inning off the bats of Diaz and Carpenter. A couple of walks and 3 strikeouts for the Milwaukee starters. So still just 5 innings, but he leaves in line for the win, and see if the Brewers bullpen can finish this one off.
It was interesting watching Zach tonight. A lot of fastballs, and it seemed like every time he made a mistake with that curveball, like it's been so far this year. I mean, the Cardinals tonight were hitting him pretty hard. Got to believe the scouting report on Davies is off speed, right?
Right.
Curveballs, changeups. So I guess every now and again you got to try something different, and that's what he did tonight.
He's never able to retire the side in order, but he's able to get out of a tough spot here and there, especially in the 1st inning. But help from the defense. A couple of double plays turned. A terrific catch by Broxton. A ball, 2 strikes. Torres facing Randall Grichuk. And Grichuk shoots one down the line, a foul ball. This Brewers bullpen has turned in some good work in the 1st month. Hiccup here and there, but the body of work I think overall has been encouraging. As Grichuk, a soft liner that's over Aguilar, and a base hit. 1 out, 1 on for St. Louis in the 6th.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Joe's Country Bar in Steuben. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite beer pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Good to see a little blue here in this sea of red. Busch Stadium. Brewers fans making the trip. They're here somewhere. We just showed you a couple.
Everybody bundled up here at the ballpark.
Yeah, 50 degrees at first pitch. Colton Wong is swing and a miss. We've had a ton of rain here already. What, 3 rainouts? Busch Stadium.
It rained earlier today, and it's held off. They're expecting rains on Wednesday here.
Yeah, tomorrow is supposed to be really nice, but then we're told it's going to turn. Wong, another swing and a miss.
Due for some rain, aren't we?
Yeah, it's been hours.
Understand it was raining back in Milwaukee again today.
Yeah. Time to give way for those showers for the flowers, right?
Right.
Month of May.
See, that's you right there. Glass half full.
That's me. I'm all about being an optimist.
Right. Nice.
Just here to help. 2 strikes and nothing to Colton Wong. There's a bouncing ball. VR flips to Arcia, and that's all they'll get. With the lead runner Grichuk, there are 2 men out, and Wong will be the base runner at first.
And that's going to end the night for Michael Wacha. Yeah, get into that Cardinals bullpen.
They've had some struggles, including yesterday against Cincinnati. As Tyler Lyons, back from knee surgery. Haven't used him much at all, but we're going to see him tonight as he will be out there in the top of the 7th inning. There's Matt Adams. You'll notice there's quite a bit less of Matt Adams. Drop some weight. Pinch hit roll here for Adams.
Yeah, he's had a difficult time finding that starting lineup.
They tinkered with them a little bit out in left field. But that's a work in progress. Adams had a pinch single yesterday in the game against the Reds. He's actually 4 for his last 4. The Cardinals, a team that has been pretty good. I said in an understatement in terms of pinch hitting as a team, and far and away the best in the National League. 14 for 32.
Yeah, not bad.
Two men out. Colton Wong, the runner at first. A ball, a strike to the pinch hitter, Matt Adams.
Adams, a good low ball hitter. Got to be careful with that cutter down and in.
Homered 16 times last year, the 28-year-old. 2-1 pitch, and that is hit hard but foul.
And it was up and in. Good pitch.
And at 94. 8 hits for the Cardinals. Stranded half a dozen runners. Torres trying to add 1 more to that. Wong has a couple of stolen bases in 3 tries this year. Torres getting ready for the 2-2 pitch. Into the dugout it goes. Heads up in there right through the opening of the railing.
Every pitch has been inside, and most of them in off the plate to Adams here. And maybe Manny Pena may want to try something different. You see the pitches right there, everything inside.
Again, the 2-2. Still works him inside and missed, and a full count. Full count to Adams. Pinch hitting for Michael Wacha. Runner on the move. Adams with a liner into right center field. That'll fall in front of blocks, and a base hit. Wong rounding third, and the stop sign was up. Now Wong slips and falls down, and this is how you do it. Running right at him, the flip to Pena, and he'll run him back. And the rundown continues until now the tag is applied. But good work by Arcia running right at the runner Wong, who was hung up, and he runs the Cardinals out of the inning. So a threat, but that's it. Going a little too fast, and the brakes blew out. And Orlando Arcia says thank you very much. Brewers lead 4-2 after 6.
who needs your vote. Vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers to send your hometown stars to Miami this July. Cast your ballot the maximum number of 35 times at brewers.com/vote for your chance to win a meet and greet with Ryan Braun. That's a good deal.
It's a great deal. Yes, sir. There's some Brewers who could be in the mix there. All-star voting. Well, the Cardinals kind of helped out the crew there in that last inning. Colton Wong head down. The stop sign was up. Put on the brakes late and ended up being a rundown. There's Tyler Lyons now on in relief as he comes in for Michael Walker.
Not exactly the most efficient rundown, but they got it done.
No, it started okay with Arcia running right at Wong, and just as I said, they are executing this perfectly. It ended up being an 8-6-2-5-6 putout. Here's how it looked.
That's a zip code.
It is. So this is the good part.
Do the right thing. Just run them back to third base is what you want to do.
Yep.
You don't want to make that throw right there. You run him back to third base and make one throw to Shaw and get him out.
Deion Broxton with a comebacker to Tyler Lyons, and it's the first out here in the 7th. I mentioned Lyons making his return. His season ended in early August of last year. Knee injury, had surgery back in November. And just now trying to get back into the groove with the big club. It's a bullpen that has been knocked around a little bit at times. Here's Orlando Arcia.
Hey, show me a bullpen in baseball that doesn't every now and again get knocked around, especially these days.
Hey, you're right.
It's kind of interesting because just about every team has 7, maybe 8 relievers down in their bullpen. And how many times you come in and say the bullpen's spent, you know, this guy's not available, and you have 8 guys out there.
Yeah, you do. In the case of the Yankees, you move a reliever over to first base and then bring him back.
Right.
There's the bullpen rank. The starting pitching for St. Louis has been very good. And the starters, as a matter of fact, their ERA is the best in the National League, but the bullpen ranks near the bottom. But having said that, soon 1-0, the Cardinals saved 3 games at Miller Park the first time around when these two teams met. Two balls, 2 strikes to Arcia.
You know, those earned run averages are a bit deceiving, especially this time of year. Maybe 1 or 2 bad outings, and your bullpen ERA is blown up for a while. It takes a while to get back down.
Yeah.
We were talking about, we came on the air talking about, you know, how the Brewers' first month went and earned run average in the 4s, but you know, you have 2 bad games, 2 or 3 bad games. That one against the Braves. Give up 20 hits, a bunch of runs. I mean, that's going to really affect your earned run average when you're in the month of April. You don't have that many innings to really use to get it down.
That's a great point. Greg Counsell has gotten good work out of his bullpen. Jacob Barnes finally giving up a couple of runs over the weekend. Arcia drawing a walk here, so with 1 out in the 7th, the Brewers have a runner on. Corey Knebel getting loose for the Brewers. We will see him in the bottom half of the 7th inning. He's been off to a very good first month. He got that. It's not going to unfold that way necessarily tonight, but you see a Barnes, Knebel, and then Feliz. Here's Nick Franklin. He will pinch hit. Arcia the runner at first. Finish the thought on that Cardinals pen. That back end has the makings of being very good. Trevor Rosenthal, who can close and has obviously for this Cardinals team, lost that job last year, but they've used him in save situations. And 1-0.
And Brett Cecil, the left-hander, always had you know, good stuff. They say that Kevin Segrist, his velocity's down.
Yeah, we're used to seeing him in the mid-90s, and now it's more like 91, 90, 91. And yeah, Cecil, the former Blue Jay, they signed him to a 4-year deal. Pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, relievers don't usually get deals like that, right? That's you're a closer.
1-0 to Franklin. Not unlike Jesus Aguilar, Franklin, you see him as a pinch hitter. He may come in the course of a game and stay out there as maybe part of a double switch. We discussed it yesterday. Eric Thames, you talk about if you're a regular player, you have the good at bats, you stick to your process. You might have an 0 for 4, but you've had a day that is not all bad, but that's not a luxury afforded to someone like an Aguilar, as Rocky pointed out yesterday. Nick's in a 1 for 21 slump right now, and this is a 6-4-3 double play that will end the top half of the 7th. We move to the bottom of the 7th with the Brewers leading 4-2.
In St. Louis, our T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball Break, a pair of players closing out the month of April in a big way. Ryan Zimmerman named National League Player of the Week. In 6 games, a .500 average, not too bad, 13 hits, scoring 11 runs, 5 home runs for him on the week. And for the Twins, it was Miguel Sano, American League Player of the Week. You see his average just a little bit better at .524, 11 hits, 3 home runs for him, and 11 RBIs in the week. And today, May 1st, begins voting for the All-Star Game. Hard to believe we're thinking ahead to that already, but that will be held July 11th at Marlins Park in Miami. And as always, you can send your favorite Brewers. There are 8 on the ballot. You can use the hashtag VoteBrewers. Braun, Arcia, Thames, Shaw, all on the list. So again, that starts today, and we'll wrap it up as we head to July.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Bottom of the 7th we go here in St. Louis. Is Corey Knebel now on for the Crew?
Yeah, we saw him in the game against the Braves yesterday in the Brewers' victory. 1-run victory at that. Inning in the 3rd, did not allow a run. Corey's been outstanding so far this year.
And he will face the top of the order, Dexter Fowler, leading off for the Cardinals, and he takes a strike on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Fowler at 0 for tonight. He has been warming up as a hitter. That season average, it's on an uptick with what he's done, especially here at the home park, where he has hit safely in 7 straight outings. Strikeout, a pop-up, and a liner to Domingo Santana in right his last trip. A big curve from Knebel. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's been a good pitch for him. Been able to throw that for strikes.
Zach Davies worked the first 5. Carlos Torres got through the 6th. Only Cardinals runs have come on back-to-back homers. That was off of Davies in the 5th inning. And it was the 2-3 hitters. Maybe we'll see these guys here in the 7th. Aledmys Diaz and Matt Carpenter. Two balls, 2 strikes to Dexter Fowler. got the early jump. 2-run homer from Jonathan Villar. Home runs a factor per usual. The Brewers able to manufacture a run in this game as well. Full count to the Cardinals center fielder. Payoff pitch coming. And he loses Fowler.
Well, one of the few times that we've seen Knebel come into the game and he's not been able to throw the curveball for strikes. Missed a couple of times with that pitch. That is the pitch that has really made the fastball very effective so far this year.
Brings a tying run to the plate to Ledmus Diaz, who homered in the 5th inning. His 5th of the year, and that gives him the lead on this Cardinals team. Fastball sails high. Two for 3 night for the St. Louis shortstop, just striking out in the 1st inning. Pops straight back out of play. Brewers trying to get back above 500. That'll be the case for the winning team tonight. 13-13 the Brewers record. Cardinals 12 up, 12 down.
The Brewers have to figure out a way to beat the Cardinals.
Yes, they do. Got them in the first game of the 4-game series in Milwaukee, but then the Cardinals won games 2, 3, and 4.
Wait, how long has it been since the Brewers have won a series against St. Louis?
Yeah, it's been 3 years, as a matter of fact. Go back to 2014. Series really turned beginning in 2012, the season series, obviously the championship series in 2011. And the Cardinals have been in control ever since, winning in lopsided fashion the season series. Mike Matheny trying to get his team back into the postseason this year. They missed out on it a year ago.
Yeah, first time for him.
Counting on guys like him, Adam Wainwright. Both on the mound and at the plate.
Yeah. They do have a very good starting rotation. Carlos Martinez tomorrow.
Wainwright will go on Wednesday. A ball, 2 strikes to Ledmus Diaz. Fowler is holding and a fastball is high.
Brewer pitchers have really gone after the Cardinals tonight with the fastball. Now, Knebel throws it in the mid to upper 90s. You know, Zach Davies, upper 80s, 90 miles an hour. He was throwing a lot of those. Torres with a cut fastball. Obviously the plan tonight.
Two pitch. Diaz waste another one. First Cardinal rookie to be an All-Star since Albert Pujols back in 2001. He was an injury replacement for Matt Carpenter last year for the All-Star game in San Diego. Again, the 2-2 and a liner to Villar. Chance to double off Fowler, and he does just that. Fowler drifting a bit too far off the bag, and Villar doubles him off.
Seen some pretty bad base running by the Cardinals. I mean, it's a line drive. Where's he going? And Villar gets rid of it quickly and an easy double play. Thank you very much. And Colton Wong rang it in without last inning, and now a double play. Fowler straying off the bag a little bit too far.
you're right. The Cardinals have helped the Brewers here the last couple of innings. There's Matt Carpenter. He homered his last trip. Had extra bases taken away, and a great play by Broxton in the third. Three double plays tonight, 2 on ground balls, and this one a moment ago on some sloppy base running from Fowler. At a season high of double plays the Cardinals have hit into.
The Cardinals have turned 3 themselves.
They have. Pitchers getting some help. A ball, a strike. Abel bringing it up there again at 96. Here was Carpenter's last at bat a couple of innings ago off Zach Davies. This was a back-to-back scenario after Diaz went deep, and this just struck the top of the wall.
Most got there. Keon Broxton came up a little bit short.
Took one away from Carpenter in the third. Almost did it again in the fifth. And Abel ready with a 1-2 pitch. And that will do it. Yes, sir. Strike 3, and Carpenter out on strikes. And words for the home plate umpire, Brian Gorman, who will have none of it. And the Brewers maintain a 4-2 lead as we move to the 8th in St. Louis. VR with a 2-run bomb. This went 450 feet. Eric Thames delivering with a run-scoring double that scored VR in the 5th. Cardinals go back-to-back. Aledmys Diaz off Zach Davies, and then Matt Carpenter sending one over the wall just beyond the reach of Keon Broxton. Hit the top of the wall and went over. That has us to our 4-2 score. Brewers out in front as the Cardinals now go back to the bullpen and call for Kevin Segrist.
They have another left-hander. He pitched 3 days ago. Gave up a hit, was taken out. His 11th appearance. You can see his numbers a bit uncharacteristic for him. He's given up a couple of home runs and a .756 earned run average.
Yeah, we'll check out this velocity, which they say is down a couple of ticks as he faces Jonathan Villar, top of the order here for the Brew Crew in the top of the 8th inning. And Villar is swing and a miss.
And 91.
We're used to seeing Segrist much closer to that mid-90s range, or definitely into the mid-90s. A lot of appearances, though. A National League high 2 years ago of 81. He was called upon 67 times a year ago. VR, another swing and a miss. Change up, 0-2 the count.
He's got a good one of those too.
He was a late round draft pick back in 2008, this Cardinals franchise. 2 strikes and nothing to the Brewers' second baseman. And that's back up the middle, and by Kolten Wong, a base hit. Try to change up again, and VR slaps it up the middle.
They hit a changeup 450 feet off of Waka. That's an 0-2 pitch. Well, you see a lot of 0-2 base hits these days, and a changeup, you leave them upstairs, and lead off base runner from Milwaukee. It'd be nice to get a little insurance run here.
Yeah, Brewers missed a chance in the 6th to do that. Let's see if they can get something going, and why not bring up the big man? Here's Eric Thames, run scoring double from Thames in the 5th. Gives him 20 RBIs on the year. You have followed this ball club even a little bit. You know that Thames can get it done against left-handers. He has that chance right now against Segrist. VR, the runner at first. With Thames at the plate, what better time to check out the Powerball home run leaderboard? Is Eric with 11 to lead the way. Ryan Braun not in the lineup tonight. Travis Shaw back in the lineup. Domingo Santana had 3 of those 5 in the Braves series, including 2 yesterday.
And Ryan Zimmerman all of a sudden getting very hot. He's got 11.
Showing that
Nationals.
power. Yeah, showing that power from several years ago when he was all-star good. Of Eric's 11 homers, 4 have come against left-handers. VR is running, and Thames with a fly ball out to center field. Room for Dexter Fowler. Out number 1 as VR has to retreat.
Yeah, just missed it. He had a pitch to hit outer half. You could see the reaction for Thames. He got it on the end. Just didn't wait long enough.
1 out with VR, the runner at first. Segrist will now work against Domingo Santana. Doubled and scored in the 4th. It's Santana. Took a called 3rd strike in the 1st and line to right in the 5th. Four runs, 8 hits for the Brewers, 2 runs, 9 hits for St. Louis. Both teams have played errorless ball. Cardinals have stranded 7 runners so far tonight.
And they've lost a couple on the bases. Bad base running.
Yeah, Kolten Wong. He was going to run through a stop sign. Third base coach Chris Maloney. And then when he tried to put on the brakes, he slipped and then eventually was put out in a long rundown. And Fowler doubled off in the bottom of the 7th on a liner to second, and VR just got picked off the first.
So the Cardinals not the only team here guilty of bad base running.
He knew it right away. Hadn't been guilty of this in a while.
Man, not even close, never got back.
The problem resurfaces here in the 8th inning. So just like that, 2 outs and the bases are empty. And Santana with a base hit into left center field. We'll try again to get something going. 2 men out in the 8th. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 11 Central, only on FS1. All right, Travis Shaw now in. He singled to center field his last trip. Back in that lineup tonight. Taking a pitch on the right hand over the weekend against Atlanta.
It really doesn't seem to have affected his throwing. I mean, that was the one thing that, nobody really talked much about. He got hit on the right hand, and sometimes that affects your grip on the baseball. Really no signs of any issues with that.
It's a good tester tonight on a chilly evening in St. Louis too, but he has handled what has come his way in this game. Cool and breezy St. Louis. A ball, a strike. Santana at first. And the runner's going. Shaw, a ground ball that's gobbled up by Colton Wong, and that'll do it for the Crew here in the 8th. Well, the Brewers unable to pad the lead, but they're still up 4-2 in the 8th. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Well, we're seeing a little change here in how Counsell works the late innings. We normally see Barnes in the 7th, then Knebel, then Phillies. Well, we've already seen Corey, and now in the 8th inning, we get a look at Jacob Barnes.
Well, Craig Counsell's big in the matchups, and maybe that has something to do with it. Bringing Knebel in with that big curveball to face, a couple of left-handers. Now it's going to be Barnes against some, a whole line of right-handed hitters. He's very, very effective against the righties.
And he will face the cleanup hitter Jed Jerko, and Barnes pours one in there at 97 to get things started.
Scuffled his last time out, did Jacob Barnes, for the first time this year.
He has just been outstanding, and the Braves touched him up on Friday, but he has been just terrific in the first month. Jed Jerko 2 for 3 in this game. Continued to hit Zach Davies well. A couple of singles to right for Jerko tonight. Really emerged those power numbers last year. It goes back to his very early years with the San Diego Padres.
Well, his rookie year, right? And really didn't do a whole lot with the Padres for a couple of years, and well, change of scenery did him well.
The move cooperated with him. 30 homers last year. And there's a fly ball hit back in a deep right field. Back goes Broxton, and there's another one for Jerko.
He's on everything. My goodness. I mean, talk about a guy that is just locked in. 3-1, upper 90s, and he hits it out of here to center field. And pitch down. He is a dead red fastball hitter. If you can't get the breaking stuff over, you are in trouble against this guy right now. Missed with a couple of cut fastballs. Had to come in with a fastball here, and see you later.
Yeah, that rookie year with the Padres, he had 23 homers, and he goes deep here for the 5th time this season. All the Cardinals runs courtesy of the big fly. Diaz and Carpenter in the 5th, and now Jed Jerko here in the 8th, and it's a 1-run game.
They just can't seem to get that cut fastball over the plate. That's his bread and butter. That's the pitch. That's his swing and miss pitch. Hasn't been able to get it close enough in his last 2 appearances, including tonight, to get the swings.
Finally a bit of a rough stretch for Barnes after cruising along through most of the month of April until Friday. It's greeted rudely by Jerko tonight. 3-0 now to Stephen Piscotty, with Yadier Molina due up next. And a 4-pitch walk to Piscotty.
And that might get that Brewers bullpen busy. Just can't find the plate. A 4-pitch walk after the home run.
Coach Derek Johnson will make the slow walk to the mound, as that pen in fact is stirring for the Brewers. That's Oliver Drake. Where the Brewers have Rob Scahill back up with the big club, but Drake has been effective in his time with the Brewers. Joined the team in Cincinnati in that first road trip. Barnes could settle down here.
Yeah. Sometimes these things can snowball on you. Manny Pena went out to try and calm him down, and that prompted a visit from Derek Johnson.
Here is Yadier Molina. Quiet night at the plate so far. 3 fly balls from the St. Louis catcher. Ground ball would be sweet right now.
Yeah, with a guy up there that grounds into a lot of double plays. Got to get that cutter down, though. Molina has been lifting the ball in the air tonight. All 3 of his outs are fly balls.
Tying run is on here for the Cardinals. Barnes now really struggling to locate the strike zone. 4-pitch walk to Piscotty. Pitch to Molina, and a soft liner, and that's a base hit in the left center field. Piscotty will move to third, and the Cardinals' first 3 reaching now. Still nobody out in the 8th.
Well, fastball in. I don't even think it was a strike. In off the plate at 98. Well, you know, when the hitter goes up there and knows you don't have to worry about the breaking ball, the cutter tonight, you can even get the bat on 98 miles an hour. You know the fastball's coming.
Well, the Brewers up against it now. Jacob Barnes giving up a home run, a walk, and a single. Randall Grichuk settles in. Couple of hits from him so far tonight, in between a strikeout of the fourth. Barnes trying to record an out. See how the Brewers are aligned.
Brewers set to give up a run to turn 2. Willing to concede the tying run. Want to try to avoid the really big inning.
A trade they'll make. They're just hoping that Barnes can settle down here. 2 balls, no strikes to Randall Grichuk. Cut and a foul ball. Scotty the runner at third, Molina at first. Cardinals with 11 hits tonight. 3 of them home runs, all solo shots. A 4-3 game. Here's the 2-1. That's in there for strike 2 call.
That cutter for a strike, not where he wanted it though.
Get a strikeout here, then get a ground ball. Take that. 2-2 pitch coming. There's the strikeout. Ooh, that's big. 1 away in the 8th.
Well, the cutter for a strike put a little bit of doubt in the mind of Grichuk. That's why he's able to throw the fastball by him. That and the fact it was out of the zone.
One out with runners at the corners. Be a tough guy to double. Wong can move.
Go ahead and strike him out then.
I'm all for that. Or maybe the Cardinals will run themselves out of an inning. Happened a couple of times here tonight.
There you go.
Whatever works. There's a little chopper up the line. Let it go foul, and it does. A foul ball.
And Jacob Barnes just bouncing off that mound, didn't he?
Did. Maybe a little nervous there.
Goodness.
Thought he was going to be getting there a little too fast. Oh, and 1 to Colton Wong. Good one going on between these 2 teams. Check it out. That's good quickness, but thought for a second he wasn't going to let it roll foul, but he did.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure it didn't go back into fair territory, but the meeting on the mound, the Brewers infield. Not sure what that was about. You don't really worry too much about Molina taking off unless he just kind of trickles off the bag to get into a rundown.
Wong has grounded into 1 double play this year. Why not make it 2?
Gonna have to be hit right at somebody.
You're right.
Man, with something on it.
Cardinals have grounded into 2 double plays, including Wong back in the 2nd inning. The Arcia Aguilar double play. Break even pitch now to Colton Wong. And that's in there.
Wow.
Corner, they say. 1-2.
Generous. Real generous.
To Brian Gorman.
He's not even close. Thank you.
Works for us. A ball, 2 strikes to Wong. Here it comes. There's a ground ball off of Barnes. Villar cannot control it either, and the Cardinals have tied the game.
Well, they've tied it up, and trouble still out there on the bases. Fastball up. And Colton Wong able to get a bat on it. You knew you weren't going to double him up. They were going to tie the game on that. But now, man at second with only one out.
Infield single, run scoring single for Wong.
Yeah, you're not going to turn two on that. I mean, Colton Wong runs well. The best you can do is get Molina. Eliminate him as the go-ahead run.
Instead, they get none of the above, and the Cardinals with 2 runs across, still 2 men on. Greg Garcia now pinch hitting. This is the best pinch hitting team in the National League. Matt Adams delivered in a pinch hitting role in the 6th. Molina representing the go-ahead run at second. So Jacob Barnes, after a terrific start, his 12 appearances, was unscored upon. The Braves put 3 on him on Friday, and now the Cardinals have scored twice against him in the 8th tonight. And there's a ground ball to Villar, and he gets to Arcia for 1, on to Aguilar for a double play. That's the 4th double play turned in by the Brewers defense tonight. That's the good news. The not so good news is the Cardinals score a couple of runs, but it stops there on this 4-6-3 double play. We're tied at 4. Hotel and Casino, let the games begin. The Cardinals scoring twice here in the 8th inning, so we have a tie game moving to the 9th. Brewers 4, Cardinals likewise, and soon 1-0 now on for St. Louis.
Yeah, picked up his 6th save of the year, 3 days ago against the Reds. You see that earned run average at 4.5. He has had some hiccups so far this year in appearance number 12 tonight.
We'll face Manny Pena with a couple of hits here in this game, as well as a sacrifice bunt. Cardinals getting a couple off Jacob Barnes in the bottom of the 8th inning. So we start from scratch here in the 9th, and Pena sends one out to shallow center field, and very shallow, and that is Colton Wong for out number 1. Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. This 4-game series continuing tomorrow night's Willie Peralta, winner in 4 of his first 5 decisions. Go up against Carlos Martinez. His best outing was his first, but those are un-Martinez-like numbers. We'll get our coverage started tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, strikeout number's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Get it up there in a hurry, Ken Martinez. Brewers knocked him around a little bit.
Yeah, early in that game. Well, Willie's been throwing the baseball well.
0-1 the count to Jesus Aguilar. Hey, we can get into one here. It's a tough request, though. Down 2 strikes and nothing to Soon 1-0. The final boss, they call him. Big years in the Korean baseball organization. 2-strike pitch. And a wave and a miss. 2 up, 2 down for the Brewers in the 9th.
Yeah, that cutter off the plate. Aguilar right now just not seeing the baseball very well. It doesn't take long to lose that edge. You know, you sit on the bench and you don't get a lot of playing time, and you're not getting at bats, and it comes and goes that quickly.
2 outs, bases empty for Keon Broxton. Tough night at the plate for Broxton. A couple of strikeouts and a comebacker. But a great play out in center field to take away extra bases from Matt Carpenter.
And a run.
Obviously not a save scenario here, but he has the 6 saves. 3 of them came in that series at Miller Park. And Broxton trying to check, and he does. Says Dan Iasonia, the first base umpire. Broxton does have 1 homer this year. 2-1 pitch, and there's a liner into center field, a base hit. Broxton extending this 9th inning, seeing if the Brewers can break this tie.
Yeah, pretty good chance he's going to try and steal. That's a nice at bat for Keon Broxton. He stays right on this cut fastball and pounds it into center field. Boy, he needed that. And the inning alive for Milwaukee.
There you see those 6 steals. That is the most on this team. Orlando Arcia is at the plate. Broxton holding on that first pitch that missed away to the Brewers shortstop. Arcia has reached on a walk. He is grounded to third and struck out in the 5th. Been more productive the last dozen games. See if he can deliver a big hit here in the 9th inning. This ball is in there.
O gets rid of it pretty quickly for a closer. Most closers take a while to get rid of it, but not this guy. So it becomes difficult to get a jump.
Took over as their closer last year when Trevor Rosenthal was struggling. Ended up saving 19 games for the Cardinals. He appeared in 76 games. Rosenthal still can finish when need be. Gets it up there in a hurry, does Rosenthal. See if Keon can get the running game going here. A ball, a strike to Orlando Arcia. Oh, keeping them close. Retired Pena on a pop-up. Struck out Aguilar. A ball, a strike to Orlando Arcia. Broxton holds. Arcia swings and sends one into left field. Drifting back is Randall Grichuk. That'll do it for the Brewers here in the ninth. Well, we're going to need to see some free baseball, but first they need to get through the bottom of the ninth, tied at 4.
And you can join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and his teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, August 13th. You can enjoy a silent auction and bowling with the Brewers players while raising money for Joy House, which offers a safe shelter, hot meals, and life-changing help to the homeless community in Milwaukee. To register, you can visit brewers.com/bowling or call 414-902-4581.
An event that Matt has a big part in. Boy, he pitched awfully well yesterday, getting the win against the Atlanta Braves. And we're going to have to hope for extra innings here tonight from the Brewers' perspective. Tied at 4, bottom of the ninth, and now Oliver Drake is on for Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Brewers picked him up from the Orioles on April 13th. Last pitched on Tuesday, so it's been a while for Drake. Tuesday against Cincinnati, a scoreless inning.
Need that splitter to be effective here as he faces the top of the order. Dexter Fowler. Swing and a miss.
That's pretty effective.
That works. It's a good place to start.
That is a good pitch, that splitter. As long as you throw it over the plate, throw it down in the zone, you're going to get a lot of swings.
2-strike pitch. Sails one upstairs. Brewers scored the first 4 runs of the night. Cardinals getting 3 back courtesy of home runs, and then Colton Wong an infield hit driving in the 4th run. That was part of the 2-run 8th inning for the Cardinals. Zach Davies went the first 5. Two and 2 to Fowler. 0 for 3 plus a walk in this game. A swing and a miss. Good start for Drake in the ninth.
Yeah, the split finger fastball right before that last one was off the plate. Didn't get the swing. This one on the plate, out of the zone, and he gets the strikeout. That's the key to a good splitter. It's got to be over the plate and keep it down around the dirt.
One away for Aledmys Diaz. It's a good night going for himself. Cardinals have 12 hits. Brewers have 10.
And you would think you'd have a few more runs scored, right, with all those hits.
Some missed chances, a lot of double plays in this game. Brewers have turned 4.
Base running mistakes.
Yes. So the arc get picked off in the 8th inning. Cardinals have run themselves out of a couple of innings. 8 stranded. See the Brewers make them pay for that, but it's going to take extra innings to do it. A ball, 2 strikes to Aledmys Diaz with Matt Carpenter on deck. Red will waste one there, 2-2. Debuted in Cincinnati. A guy who can give Counsell more than 1 inning if called upon. In fact, that was the case in his first 3 appearances, including April 20th against the Cardinals, a game the Brewers won, the one game they took in that series. 2-2. There's a bouncing ball to Arcia. Not messing around, 2 away in the 9th. So far, so good for Drake.
I mean, that is a real good split-fingered fastball. I mean, it's not one of those, more like those forkball pitches. You know, Junior Guerra has 2 different splitters. He's got the forkball, slower, bigger break. And then last year, toward the end, he was starting to throw a little bit harder. That's a real splitter that Drake's got going. Throws it hard, short, quick break.
Here's Matt Carpenter. Try his luck against him. Part of the back-to-back home run power the Cardinals put on in the 5th inning. His long ball followed the home run from Aledmys Diaz. A pitch that puts stress on you, but it's effective.
Yeah, tough on the arm. You don't see many guys throw it anymore.
Pitch to Carpenter, a bouncing ball gobbled up by Aguilar. The feed to Drake, and we're going to extra innings here in St. Louis. Good work from Drake. He retires the side in order. Let's go to the 10th. Tied at 4. We get set for extras here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Yes, sir. And there you see the Brewers. You go back to that first homestand of the season when they beat the Chicago Cubs in 11 innings, and the Cardinals 1 up and 1 down. Free baseball, guys. Settle in.
They don't need coats.
No, from Wisconsin.
Cardinal fans all bundled up.
Right. It's too cold, you're too soft. Let's go. All right. Yeah, see, look at that. Well, that's all right. Forgiven.
They're hanging in there.
Yeah, if you're still here, that's good. Soon 1-0 is still here as well, as Hernan Perez now pinch hitting.
And second inning for O. Not often your closer goes 2 innings.
Well, let's see if Brewers can get to him.
Well, he went an inning in the third his last time out.
Cardinals bullpen has been good so far here in this game. 1 strike pitch to Perez, and that's in there for strike 2 call. Perez, and then go back to the top of the order here in the top of the 10th inning. Perez cracks one right, and Wong knocks it down, and the throw over to first. It gets Carpenter off the bag, and Perez is on. Oh, a liner that just popped out of the mid of Colton Wong, and then he uncorked a wild one to Carpenter.
That's just amazing. I mean, you know, first he drops it, and then he had all day to make a throw to first base, and just terrible throw. That good play by Perez to avoid the tag, and he's safe. That's what we're talking about with Wong. I mean, he's a pretty good hitter, but he's a little bit suspect over there at second base.
They're not making like a running back there. That's a little jump cut.
Yeah.
Good. Here's the first error of the night. And here's Jonathan Villar. And he squares to bunt, lays one down first base side, and that'll get the job done as Carpenter applies the tag. Perez moves to second. Couple of sack bunts from the Brew crew tonight.
Yeah. Playing some small ball. Good bunt right down the first base line, and now Perez in scoring position.
All right, this sets up as well as you could hope for from the Brewers' perspective, a runner in scoring position, and they're going to not even mess around with Eric Thames, the no pitch intentional walk.
I'll set up the double play. They've turned 3 of them already tonight. But you're bringing up a red hot hitter who's been swinging the bat well tonight, Santana.
Domingo with a couple of hits here in this ball game. A double. He scored in the 4th and then singled in the 8th inning. He is warming up at the plate. Look past that season average. Remember, he homered 3 times in the Braves series, including twice yesterday. And that second one followed an error in the 6th inning. It was a 3-run shot against Mike Foltynewicz. It was after the shortstop Dansby Swanson booted a ground ball off the bat of Perez. So Brewers got an additional out, and Santana made the most of it. RBI chance here, 2 on, 1 out of the 10th.
He's been liking that first pitch.
And he took a shot here but missed. There is the runner at second, Eric Thames at first. Brewers trying to get the soon 1-0 and break this tie. One strike pitch to Santana. Another swing and a miss.
Trying to hit one out of here.
Yeah.
Kind of going away from the swing that has produced a lot of base hits lately.
A single would be just fine right here.
Yeah, that's a big swing.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Travis Shaw on deck. Another big cut, got a piece. that series against the Braves. Santana with 5 homers. There's Travis Shaw, who has 18 RBIs. A lot of extra base hits for Shaw in the first month of the season. 2-strike pitch again. Santana will not chase. Cardinals opening the door here. An error charged to Colton Wong. Getting things started for the Brew Crew in the top of the 10th. Wong made a couple of very good defensive plays yesterday. See if Milwaukee can capitalize on a mistake here tonight. That's strike 3 call. Breaking ball, and Santana caught looking, second out of the inning.
And not sure what he's arguing about. That had plenty of the plate. Pretty much right down the middle, top of the strike zone.
Two men out and still 2 men on. Soon 1-0, trying to get out of trouble in inning number 10. He'll face Travis Shaw. Single to center field in the 6th inning. He's grounded out the other 3 trips. Good chance to add to that RBI total, which stands at 18 for the Brewers' third baseman.
And maybe thinking about, Molina changing the signs up a little bit. Perez been out there a while.
Shaw out of the lineup yesterday, back in there tonight. Perez reaching on an error, over on a sacrifice bunt. Now Shaw trying to pick him up and give his team the lead in extra innings. Swing and a miss after one low and in.
Pretty good hack.
2 strikes and nothing to Travis Shaw. He was trying to scratch out a run in the 10th. Here's the 0-2. Second inning of work for soon 1-0. Shaw trying to extend this 10th inning. Here's a 1-2, and there's a fly ball hit back into deep right field, and that is gone. A 3-run bomb from Travis Shaw, and the Brewers take the lead in the 10th.
Wow, a blast. Well, he got that ball down and in. It was a slider, and he hit it a ton. My goodness. These guys don't hit cheap home runs, do they?
They don't. They have no interest in wall scrapers.
Yep, on a 2-strike pitch, down and in, and Travis Shaw hammers one out of here. Brewers with a 3-run lead. Boy, oh boy. How about that? That is a blast. Once again, way back over the Cardinals bullpen.
A pitching change in St. Louis as Travis Shaw snaps this tie with a bang. 7-4 Brew Crew. give the Brew Crew a 7-4 lead. Check it out.
Boy, Badger Mutual, at least the last two are insurance runs. The first run's a go-ahead run. The next two insurance runs. And boy, Travis Shaw, how far was that? 4 something?
451.
Wow, a foot longer than the one VR hit. And the Brewers take a 3-run lead into the 10th inning. Wow.
Miguel Sokovic is now on for St. Louis. 1-2 pitch with 2 outs in the 10th.
Yep, Colton Wong opening the door for the Brewers with that error. They had to start the inning.
A big inning it has turned out to be as Manny Pena with his second at-bat of the inning, and a ground ball. Diving stop, Jerko, and the throw is in time. Good play by the Cardinals' third baseman. Here to end the inning, and the Brewers put 3 on the board here as we move to the bottom of the 10th. The Brewers leading St. Louis 7-4. What the heck was that? Two out of the 10th. Travis Shaw takes Soon-Won Oh deep, a 3-run homer, and the Brewers lead the Cardinals 7-4 as we move to the bottom of the 10th. Now Neftali Feliz will try to finish it.
He had 3 runs on 1 hit. There you go, a walk, an error, and a homer. And Neftali Feliz looking for his 7th save of the year. So far 6 for 7, and a big earned run average. Had a couple of rough outings, but he's got a 3-run cushion to work with here in the 10th.
And one more change here on Perez, who started that 9th inning by reaching in the air, stays in the game out there in left field. Perez reached on an error, a sac bunt from VR, intentional walk to Thames after Santana took a called 3rd strike. Brewers look like they might miss an opportunity, but Travis Shaw with the 3-run homer, and now Feliz will try to finish things up, facing Jed Jerko. Starts him with a strike. Jerko again has been a very tough out. A terrific series at Miller Park. He has 3 hits in this game tonight. And there's a fly ball hit back into deep right center field. Broxton looking up, and that's gone. Second homer of the game for Jed Jerko.
Have we mentioned that he likes fastballs?
I believe we have, and he still does.
Yeah. And for some reason, they keep throwing them to him. He knocks this one out. Pretty much the same place he hit his last home run. Fastball from Feliz. See you later.
Home runs all over the place here tonight. Here is Stephen Piscotty. to see another multi-homer game, and his first as a Cardinal. You go back to before the trade, not long before the trade, or rather his second as a Cardinal is against his old team, the other multi-homer game.
This guy just locked in.
Yeah, he really is.
Goodness, he's just, every time it seems the Brewers throw him a fastball, he's going to hit it hard somewhere.
Going to work here tonight. 6 homers on the year for the former Padre. Second year now with the Cardinals. A ball, 2 strikes to Stephen Piscotty. 7 at Sales High. One good thing about the Cardinals with their long ball power tonight, they've all been solo shots.
Yeah.
Louise loads up for the 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. A blow-by fastball at 98 for out number 1.
Yeah, that one had a little bit of irritating on it right there. I mean, he's a little bit irritated giving up the home run. 98 up in the zone, and Piscotty right through it. Little angst to that one.
Fastball with attitude.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
That works.
Thank you.
Here's Yadier Molina. Molina played a role in that 8th inning. Single to left center field. After 3 flyouts earlier in the night. 1-1 the count. Long ball power, 6 homers in the game, 4 solo shots with the Cardinals. And Molina with a fly ball out to shallow center field. Coming in is Broxton, and there are 2 men out here in the ninth. 4 solo shots of the Cardinals, but Brewers with a couple of home runs with men aboard. VR in the 3rd, Shaw a 3-run blast in the 10th. And Phillies 1 out away from locking this one up for the Brew Crew. Here is Randall Grichuk. 2 singles, 2 strikeouts for the left fielder. And that's strike 1. Went around. Trying to take this opener. Meet again tomorrow night. First of a 4-game series. Rearing back and letting it fly. Here is Feliz. Gave up a solo homer to Jed Jerko, but since then took care of Stephen Piscotty and Yadier Molina. And there's a fly ball hit back into deep left center field. Hernan Perez, Keon Broxton. It's Perez the catch. A little contact, no harm, no foul, and the Brewers take the opener of the series here at Busch Stadium. Have a little fun, guys. You earn this one. Extra innings, and they get the job done.
Yeah, the Brewers not able to hold a lead again against St. Louis, but able to jump off the mat in the 10th. Big home run for Shaw. And, you know, the Brewers pick up the first of this 4-game series. Brewers have played some pretty good baseball on the road. Now 7-3. And Perez able to haul that one in right in front of the wall.
Able to absorb a little contact from his teammate as Feliz nails this one down. And this road trip off to a good start. Brewers win it in 10, 7-5. Let's send it to our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. Standing by is Jeff Grayson.